All right, welcome to our notes on point slope form. Go ahead and make sure you have this sheet right here. It will probably be during class. It'll be located on the black filing cabinet in the back. And we're going to just walk through point slope form and kind of what that looks like and how to use it. So first of all, there are two ways to write point slope form. This way right here and this way right here, which you hopefully notice are really basically the same thing, except for on this one right here, we've got the y1 over here, subtracting, and on this one, we added the y1 on the right. We also wrote this one as a function because now we can type it into our calculator. The m value is the slope, just like it is in y equals mx plus b. The x1 and y1 are the x and y values of any coordinate that's on that line. Right? And then when would you use point slope form? If I were given a table like this, x, y, and it's 0, 1, 2, I don't even need to put the y values there. I would put no. Why? Because I know that I'm going to have my y-intercept there. But if we're given a table like x, y, and the values were like 2,300 and 2,301 and 2,302. Yes, I know I'm going to use it there because it's going to be really hard to get back to the y-intercept if we want to work this up. I shouldn't say really hard, but it's just easier to just use point slope form. All right, so let's take you through two examples. The first example is right here as a table. All right, we're given a table, and step one is to find the slope. I'd like you to try that on your own real quick. Go ahead and find the slope. All right, so hopefully you did this on your paper and you have the change in the x or the run is 2, and the change in the y or rise is 10. So we know that our rise over run equals 10 over 2, which is 5. So that is our slope. This value right here is going to go in for our m. So m equals 5. Okay. Step number 2 is just to plug in coordinates for x sub 1 and y sub 1. So we're just going to take any coordinate you want. I'm going to take the 2100, right? And I'm going to plug those in. So when I write this out, I'm going to write it as y minus, again, I've got to use the y value, so I'm going to bring the y value here, so minus 100. If that was a negative 100, it'd be y plus 100, equals my m value, which is 5, parenthesis, x, and then minus my x value, which is 20. That's one way to write it. Another way to write it would be to write it as f of x equals 5 times x minus 20 plus 100 at the end. All right, let's go ahead and do our next example. Our next example is to write it from two coordinates. So if you're going to write it from two coordinates, like these two coordinates, the first thing you're going to do is make a table and find the slope. So I'm going to give you a second, go ahead and find the slope. All right, if you made a table, you made x and f of x, and you put negative 2, negative 6, and negative 5, negative 12. You found the change here to be negative 3, and the change here to be negative 6. And then we take our rise over our run, so negative 6 over negative 3. Sorry, there we go. And that equals 2. So our slope is 2, so m equals 2. And now all we have to do is take a coordinate and plug it into our function. So we can take either one. I'm going to take the negative 2, negative 6. So I'm going to write this out as y minus, so I'm going to bring down the y value of negative 6. So I'm going to change that to not minus, but plus 6. And then I'm going to put the equal sign, and then I'll put my slope, which is 2, parenthesis, and then x, and then I'll bring down my x value, which is minus 2, but instead of minus 2, I'm going to put plus 2 because we have a minus the x of 1, and I'm done. And if we were to write this in the other way, we'd write it as f of x equals m, not m, but 2, x plus 2 with a minus 6 at the end. All right, go ahead and take your paper, flip it over, and try the problems on the back.